sure I didn't move the camera. Okay.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
We're gonna have to try that again. We'll have the camera.
Oh my God.
Again. All right. Good morning,
Morning.
good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. My name is Kelly.
Kristen. I was like, where are we gonna say? All right. So just together.
This is real life. Hello, beautiful souls. My name's Kelly,
I'm Kristen.
and welcome to our channel.
We are actually going to be discussing a lot of spiritual things, including Reiki. I have my Reiki master right here.
That's me.
I also study natal charts and the stars and planets, so we'll talk about transits and how they'll affect you in your daily lives. But first, I think we're going to do a little clearing of our own energies. So, Kelly, how do you like to clear?
Yeah, it's always, I always recommend definitely before you do any type of energy work or connecting with spirit or anything of that nature, to do a clearing, whether it be your crystals or whatever you're using in the room. I like using sage, and Palo Santo is also one of my favorites, and saying, a little prayer in my head to my guides and my higher self, just to ask for protection. Also, putting your bubble on. I also call it something else, which probably wouldn't be appropriate. But, anywho, pretty much you metaphorically, while you're breathing in and out, surround yourself with a bubble of light to protect you from anything outside that may affect how you feel. So I have my sage and my Palo Santo, and Kristen, I know she also uses sage and Palo Santo, but she has a different way as well.
I actually have several, oops, sorry, I gotta reach out and look. So I'm actually burning in my bowl here. I have a little bowl and it's filled with sand and a little charcoal disc. And I have in it all things that are fire, they're all element fire. I do have wormwood, which is for love, protection, calling spirits. I have a little frankincense and myrrh in there, and I have rowan, which is just little sticks. They're little flakes, and this is for healing power, psychic power, protection. And then I also have some organic cinnamon, which makes it not smell like, burnt wood. This is for spirituality, success, healing powers, protection, love. And it smells pretty good. And I just dab in a little clear quartz. There's a clear quartz in here, some oil, and I also have some psychic oil, even though not claiming. But I just run the smoke up and down all through my chakras, and then I think we both like to take a dab of the oil and just touch it on your third eye.
Third eye chakra, right between your brow line.
And when I do it, I just see Technicolor.
Sorry, I like cutting her off. It's fun. You can pick this up really at any metaphysical store, any crystal store, anything like that. Or if you want to pick up, your favorite essential oil, you can also get a little piece of clear quartz and put it in the bottom of the bottle. You can also put it in the bottom of the bottle as well.
I'll cut you off.
But yes.
Mind you, this has been burning for a while. I started it a little early. The bowl gets really hot.
Yeah.
So,
hot.
Yeah. I've been clearing before we started. So, I might, it's starting to smell so good though.
Mm-hmm.
You can just kind of.
If we could only have that
how cool
come through the channel, the smell of our burning.
What do they call it? Smell-o-vision?
Smell-o-vision? That would be amazing, right? You really got to follow your intuition, guys. So really, whatever makes you feel the most comfortable, whatever calls out to you the most as far as cleansing goes, is going to be the route that you want to take. There are so many different ways, and we could talk about it forever, and then your brain would just be like, way too much information. So really, same with crystals. When you're walking through a store, you just got to kind of look for what or feel for what calls to you. So I actually have a little abalone shell. I talk a lot, so I saw Kristen try to cut me off right now.
I burn down houses a lot. I'm trying to fix this. So
Don't burn
hang on.
my clothes,
I burn down houses a lot. I'm trying to fix this. So
Don't burn
hang
my
on.
clothes. Do
Hang
not
on.
burn my carpet.
It's under sand. I'm smothering it.
Okay.
I'm smothering it.
So when I got my first little set of sage a long while back, I got it in an abalone shell, as well as a turkey feather to use to smudge. So I use this to clear myself, to clear rooms, etc. So you guys get the gist of that, right? Right.
Yes. They answered.
Palo Santo is it's honestly it's holy wood. That's what it stands for. It is my favorite clearing agent. I do love white sage, but Palo Santo is my favorite.
St. Paul.
Right, exactly. So I love the smell of it, and I like combining the two together. It can be a little hard to light sometimes.
She actually did this. She cleared me with this before she did a full Reiki session, like laying on the table, and it made a total difference. It wasn't sage-like. It almost has like a perfume to it.
Yeah.
But it also,
It's natural.
it brings out more of my energy, like my aura, I guess. I can like feel it, and you close your eyes, you can kind of see it, depending on where you are spiritually. And also, we do want to say, if you're new to this, if you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer. We're not saying that we are the end all be all, but we do have our strengths and weaknesses.
Absolutely. So with this, sorry, I got up a little bit. Reason being is because, I like to fan really the chakra areas, as Kristen was talking about previously.
So we got root,
Sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. And then there are other chakras that are above, but those are the 7 main.
The other chakras can actually be seen in math. The golden mean or Fibonacci sequence. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Metatron's cube.
We are,
or the Kabbalistic, the Kabbalistic tree of life. If you take out the center, you can see the 7, and then you can see the outside. Actually, it's for Kabbalah. That those other circles, those other points, which you can diagram mathematically, are all the other aura chakras. So actually, I'll have a sketch of that, and we can go over that in another session.
Yeah, we have so much to share, y'all. So please make sure that you follow us and leave whatever you would like to leave in our comments. If you have questions, if you just have any advice, if you have best practices, if you have criticism, whether it be constructive or not, we're open to all of it.
If you want to say y'all suck, tell us.
Yeah,
We
totally
send
fine.
you good love and energy anyways.
Exactly. It is storming outside right now. I love it. So right now what we're going to do is we are going to go over the current astrological weather forecast with you guys. It's something that Kristen is very, very well versed in. I'm pretty well versed in it now as well, thanks to my lovely best friend here. So we're going to start going over that, and we will start with the sun. So currently the sun is in Cancer, and Kristen's going to go over a little bit more about what that means.
So the sun in Cancer, really for everybody, the sun is, the most visible and important, people call it planet, but actually it's a star, in astrology, and the level of physical life and symbolically represents ego and will. The sun spends 30 days in each sign. Okay, so when the sun is in Cancer, and especially in the beginning of this period, the summer solstice, there is an emphasis on family values, on memory, the traditions of the past, even though nature beckons that we are all family, rather than individually oriented at this time. The ritual of the summer barbecue brings everyone together. So the softness and a nurturing quality to our approach, now that this cements the ties of kinship and our individual security within the family circle. So this is going to be a time for you to maybe call that aunt that you haven't spoken with in a while.
100%.
If you have a brother or sister that you're like, oh my gosh, they never call. It's two ways. You know, go have a cocktail, go barbecue. I mean, we're in Texas, so barbecues we're stupid. It's 110 degrees outside. We go out with flames. Yeah.
Right now, the moon is actually in Pisces. Pisces is one of my favorite signs. I'm actually a Taurus, but yes, I love the Pisces. And the moon in Pisces impacts me greatly, and I know for sure it impacts Kristen greatly as well.
And also, the moon, it's in the disseminating phase, but the moon is in void of course.
Yep.
That means it represents a time, usually lasts less than a day, when the course of events seems to be more difficult, arguments seem to be more prevalent.
Yep.
Making a solid decision is harder to do. Some astrologers refuse to make important business decisions when the moon is void of course.
Or appointments.
But that's just when it's going from one sign and it hasn't reached the other sign yet. So on the astrological chart, if you put the stars against the astrological wheel or a natal chart, you'll see, and it's not quite where it was, but it's not quite where it's going. So it takes about a day for that to happen. The actual definition for this period is wanders. So after her last major aspect to another planet, until she enters the next sign, and then it picks back up. But this actually affects me more than retrogrades.
It does. I can vouch.
Right.
I can vouch. Retrogrades actually affect me more. Retrogrades affect me more. I feel like they both affect me, but the biggest part of making sure that you're not, for what people would say, negatively impacted by when the moon is void in course or retrogrades is shadow work, which is something we'll talk about in another episode, but it's very important. But yes.
But if you're in Central Standard Time, you'll be good at like 9:38 tonight because it'll move into Aries. So don't make any business decisions. Don't take that job just yet. Just give it a hot second.
Give it a minute. No rash decisions. I know how to talk. I've been talking for years.
We're good.
No rash decisions at that point in time. So,
we are going to actually show, I have a natal chart grid. I'm not sure if you know what a natal chart is. It's where you pinpoint the moment where all the stars and the planets were the very moment that you took your first breath. So we do it by calculating sidereal time, which we'll talk about later, the latitude and longitude of where you were born, the exact time of your birth, and we figure that out and we compare it to the astrological map of current, like today. So we'll overlap that with your birth chart, and then we can make it personalized to you, right?
Day by day, week
but
by
we
week.
do have like the daily aspect, and the chart here. There's a lot of red aspects. So yeah, there's some like squares. They're not harmonious.
Right.
A triangle. Harmonious.
Yes.
So there are certain planets that are in certain signs that they're squaring off or they're in opposition, and that may be your sign or your planet, and you might be interested in that because that will affect you. But I will actually post that just real quick. The planets that are affected: Sun in Cancer, you're good. Moon in Pisces, you're good. Mercury in Pisces, you're good. Venus in Gemini, you're great. Mars in Cancer, you're good. Jupiter and Saturn.
Jupiter and Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. Yeah, so that's going to be contraparallel, central parallel. It's
wishy-washy.
That's actually a lot of So
and
usually in the center you have a bunch of lines. The green ones are good, showing the aspects, but when
green, blue,
all the majority is in like one half of the wheel, it's like,
and they're red.
Yeah. So, but that doesn't ever mean that it's bad,
that's what I was
because
just gonna say,
you always learn something from it, and you
Get
can
out of
draw
my
from it
head.
spiritually. I'm taking your words on purpose.
Literally.
I want to shine. So
literally, I was just gonna say, sorry, my foot is falling asleep, guys. That's why I'm moving around. So I was literally gonna say, when we say negative aspects, that's how it is. That's how it is used. That is the verbiage that is used when you look it up, when you research it. However, I truly believe, and I know Kristen truly believes, that nothing that happens is truly negative. To me, you either are learning from it. It's a life lesson, and it may be hard, and it may be something that we don't like at the moment, but it is for the greater of good in the end, in the long run. So
to be a little personal, I have an ex-husband who left for reasons that I still don't know. I was devastated. My chart looked horrible for the next 3 months. My life was horrible those 3 months. And then I got out, and I finally found the man that I'm supposed to be married to. I have 3 boys, and I am happier than I've ever been. And it takes the one door closing for the other one to open. But you also don't want to stand there beating on a door, because maybe it's not meant for you, and maybe you just need to learn patience, or there's always some lesson. We're not here to teach, but you'll be able to understand and start figuring out yourself, hopefully. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about Kelly and her strengths. She is her hands can't shut up dogs, apparently.
my dogs are barking downstairs right now, insanely.
She actually, she's a medical intuit, so she can walk by someone and feel their pain and ask them, "Is your knee okay?" And they're like, "What?" Or so she knows. She picks up on that. She has healing hands. So I had back surgery, had a lot of pain. She took her hands, and no massage, not even really Reiki, but she was able to pull it out, and I felt it. Her hands felt it because they were hot as get out. And she's actually gone through the Reiki teaching. She is now a Reiki master certified. And she has done work on me. She's made me see things crazy. She made my uterus feel like it was going to explode, which wasn't your fault. I'm not sure what it was that was in there that needed to come out,
or
moving
around,
something moving around that needed to get out. But oh my gosh!
But it got out, and it was better afterwards.
Yeah. So she's the Reiki. She's also visions. She, if I can tell them about the girl.
Yeah.
So she had a journal. She was writing in her journal. I'm pretty sure she has it. And this surprised me. This was when we were first getting to know each other years ago.
It was.
Yeah.
That was.
And
we can't talk about the specific case.
Right, but she drew where she thought a little girl would be found, and
the details.
And she had it all written out. And how long was it after?
So pretty much what happened, and this is why I went into Reiki, because I'm such a strong empath, that it actually was physically impacting me, seriously impacting me health-wise. I had a very vivid lucid dream, pretty much nightmare, about a little girl. The next morning I was watching the news, it was a Monday, and I saw her face and she had just gone missing. And it was a 3-year-old little girl, and I saw the face on TV, dropped my entire plate of food. You know, my boyfriend was just like, what is going on? And he was there obviously when I had the nightmare, and I was like, that's the little girl from my dream. And I had to grab my notebook, and the first thing I could grab, which was my little 4-year-old baby girl's purple crayon, and I started writing. At that point, she had just been missing. She had just gone missing. And I just started writing, and I had no idea what I was writing. I was just writing and drawing and writing and drawing, and I just kept writing things over and over again, drawing. And I consulted my Reiki master at the time before I became a Reiki master and instructor. And yeah, from there, pretty much she forced me, kind of forced me to turn my tips into the police. But she was missing for 2 weeks. And I sent my tips in anonymously, and they found her body 2 days after I sent my tips in, and like I said, she was missing for 2 weeks, and I knew that she was gone immediately, and I knew who had killed her and in what form and everything. It was extremely sad, and I'm not claiming that necessarily my tips that I sent in are what caused them to find her necessarily, but
the fact that you drew an area where they showed where she was found,
right,
you had drawn it, and it was almost like a
hill,
and like
a culvert.
Yeah, it was like a culvert, or I don't know, it kind of looks like a cement tube or something that you go under roads. But I saw the news, and I looked at her drawing, and I was like, that looks exactly, it was. So I like to brag on her. So,
and I like to brag on her.
You should never be embarrassed if you think you have a gift, and you're afraid to try it on people. You know, I had that experience. I was like, I don't know how to read cards, and I didn't think that I was psychic at all. And I just did cards with friends, you know, and like I read the book, you know, the little answers in the book that matched the card, and I was like, I knew my friends, so I started reading them because I knew them. But then I was asked, one of my good friends was like, can you read my buddy Eric's cards? I was like,
apologies.
I'll try. And I actually started seeing stuff, and I asked him after the reading, I was like, so anything resonate? And he looked at my friend and his friend and said, she said the same thing about my mom and my grandmother that psychic did a few years ago. And he said, wow, you're good. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't understand, because I was afraid that I'd be wrong. And it's not something that you think about. It's not something that you make up or you assume. It's things that come to you, and if you feel that it should come out of your mouth, it should come out of your mouth. Let it come out.
And fear and self-doubt are the number one things that will block you. Negativity, fear, and self-doubt. And self-doubt, she knows. And ego, absolutely. Oh, ego, for sure.
Ego gets her every time.
It does. Guilty is charged. I'm human. And it does. And self-doubt, honestly, is probably one of the things that I struggled most with in the beginning, and still to this day, I think everybody does. It's just something you have to consistently work on. But staying in a high vibrational state, like Kristen said, and staying in the now, in the current moment, in the only thing that matters, which is the current moment, will help you so much. Kristen didn't let me talk about what her strengths are because she's Kristen.
Because I don't know what they are.
What do you mean? See, here she goes. This is what you see. We were just talking about self-doubt. What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying. I'm not sure.
I feel like Kristen's good at everything. Kristen actually does Reiki too, as well. She hasn't gotten her master just yet. However, she does do Reiki as well. She is amazing with numbers and numerology. Somebody called my phone and I had to restart it. Okay, so again, Kristen is extremely clairvoyant. She sees, hears, feels spirit, probably in every way, shape, or form. She is very, very grounded most of the time.
I know when I'm not. I need to. I literally take off my shoes and go stand in the grass.
In the dirt. If you ever feel like you're just all over the place,
take your shoes off
and stand in the dirt.
And then what you need to do, close your eyes, find your breath, and imagine roots going from your feet going down into the ground. Mm-hmm. So imagine that you're rooting yourself into the ground. Mm-hmm. And honestly, your feet will feel heavy. Your balance will feel amazing. You'll be like, oh, I'm like good.
So true. Another thing that we'll talk about, we have so much to talk about and to share, like our experiences that we have to share. I'm so excited that we're starting our channel finally. It's been a long time coming. However, I'm still talking about your strengths. Okay. She doesn't let me do this. This is, you know what?
Okay.
She's silly. Let me give you an example. This girl, when it comes to, she talked about me when it came to crime, finding missing people, when it comes to pets, etc. This girl right here can do the same thing because we've worked together. When we have had friends that have had pets go missing, we have both been able to come together and find them. So
that's funny.
She's good at getting specifics. And when I say specific, so for me, specific numbers, dates and names are hard for me. Her, nope, not. She's pulled out last names that I'm like, how? There's no way you could even guess that. I've only heard that last name one time. Or, for instance, her sister Courtney had a little baby, and she's the cutest little girl in the world. She's a rock star. She's gonna be everything. Anyway, I remember when Courtney went into labor, and we were here at my house, and she was like, "What do you think? How much do you think she's gonna weigh?" And I was like, 7 pounds, 1 ounce. And she was like, well, I think she's going to be 7 pounds, 1.2 ounces. I was like, oh, well, Kristen, it's the same thing. She's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And so then we were trying to figure out, what time we thought that baby was going to be born. And was it 1:40?
2:14.
Oh, 2:14. Okay. So I was off. Of course, I told you I'm not good with numbers. She knew by doing, she calculated it by she went into labor this time, she went into...
I found a pattern in our texts.
Yeah.
Because I had like a wait a minute moment that I'd had previously, and I was like, that moment, that happened at 2:14. So I went through my text and I was like, that's when it happened.
And she starts shooting off all these numbers and all this, wait a minute, but this, but that, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this girl's losing her mind. She's speaking, what's happening? And she gives me the time. And I'm like,
I'm still waiting to hear from my mom, my sister.
Like, have you heard from your mom? Have you heard from your sister? Have you heard from your mom? Have you heard from your sister?
I think we heard from them right before 5 o'clock.
Right before 5. Yep, exactly. It was like around, right before 5. And you sent me a screenshot of the text. And the baby was 7.12 ounces and born at 2:14 p.m. And I was like, you gotta be me.
Yeah.
Kidding me.
Mom, no.
Appropriate. I knew the weight. Mm-hmm. But I did go back and forth. I was like, 7.1 ounces was my first guess. But I was like, well, maybe this, maybe that. Mm-hmm. You were like, stick with your gut. Mm-hmm. And that was right.
We both got the
weight.
But
you got the weight
too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We both got that.
Yeah. Well, but yes. So we have a lot to share. As you can tell, we both talk a lot. We love Yes, we're gonna do a card of the day.
Yes.
We're gonna be putting out a video every week and have a different topic, and we would love to hear your suggestions. And so yes, we're gonna do a card of the day.
So just know that this is like our
is
like
us.
Swedish Chef. Okay. You remember Swedish Chef?
No.
Sesame Street? Nobody?
Yes, I remember.
He's cooking and he's like, okay. Anyways,
You
this is
can't-
our Swedish Chef.
You
episode.
can't act this. This is real life.
This is our.
This is us. This is how we are.
We'll name this episode Swedish Chef because that's what this is. We're trying to get through to, and we really do have a regimen. Like, we have things that we are going to talk about. We're just going to start at a certain point. We'll focus on certain things for certain episodes, but we will always read you the current weekly forecast of the planets, the stars, and any conjugations, any trines, any aspects that are going to be harmonious or any that are going to be. So based on your sign, you can know and you can be aware of certain days. We will always pick a card. We will be using my fractal energy deck. So this, I'll just break it and show you. These are
They're my favorite.
so they're just energy. Let's see. I think you should put.
And
your
Kristen
energy on
also,
that.
by the way, is really good when it comes to cards. You want me to just hold? When it comes to cards, as far as reading the meaning verbatim, she's way better when it comes to reading the card as far as what she feels from the energy of it. Yeah, she's amazing and I love her.
Split. Alright. I'm trying to feel your fingers.
My hands are hot.
I know. Hang on. All right. Look, she's like, what do I do with this?
No, I knew what to do. I was just laughing because I love that card.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this in your face, if you don't mind. Put my face in your face. This is, let me back up.
There we go.
So that is the card. To me, this is Metatron's way of saying hello.
Hence the magenta and the green.
Right, those are the colors of Metatron.
Yep.
And you can also, so you can draw whatever you want from this. This, I kind of actually see, I don't know, I want to say like thirst for knowledge. But then, I mean, you can look at it. You can look at it in a lot of ways. And do you see the radiation, the aura radiation? Can you? I don't know if y'all can see that.
The aura around the center of the card, the centerpiece. Of the card.
That signifies the opening of the heart chakra. So that's pretty profound. So embrace that shift if it's occurring within you. Yeah. So you deserve to feel the bliss, happiness, everything with that card. You've done the work, you've made the effort.
Our
I've been
outlet.
hiding
Sorry,
it
we've been
the whole
trying to hide it
time.
this entire
And
time.
at the end, I blew
But,
it.
you know, it is what it is.
So-
We're doing what we
so
can
yeah.
here.
Yeah, that actually, that represents what life has to offer. So your heart chakra, love,
I feel
opening.
like it's almost the center of the flower of life.
I'm gonna move forward. And
Can you see what I'm saying? The center of the flower of life. The beginning of the flower of life.
okay, so I do see what she's saying because let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 points running through. So those are your main chakra lines. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Haha, she's right. This is the Kabbalistic, all the chakras. So the points around, there's 2 here, 2 here, 2 down here. So it goes up, over, up, down, and then actually comes to a smaller point here. But yeah. So we'll draw cards of the day. So if this means anything to you, please let us know. We like connecting with people. So yeah, we do want your comments. We do want to ask questions. Tell us you know what we don't, because if we don't know, we want to learn. And
absolutely.
And if you just want to tell us we're batshit crazy, pardon my French, go ahead.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
And also with this card, I would say, to the viewers, follow your intuition, guys. Trust. You gotta trust that the universe is keeping you and taking you on the right spiritual path, whether it seems hard at times. You're right where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. And just know that spirit and the universe has your back. And stay in the current moment and stay positive. Radiate that beautiful light and those beautiful colors and that beautiful energy that you have to offer, because you are all beautiful.
Yes.
And that's what you'll attract back into your life.
Well, we will see you next week. We will actually be posting on our Instagram. Instagram is Namaste
Bees.
Bees. BEEZ.
Wait, I don't know if that's correct.
Let's check.
Okay.
The Instagram you can go to, it is Namaste, NAMASTE. B is in boy, T is in Tom, C is in Charlie, H is in Harry, Z as in
zebra.
I was gonna say
Z.
Zero.
Z.
Yeah. So we'll be posting the chart that we talked about with the aspects, and I will actually post the details, the card, and I'll actually give you the book's definition of the card as well as what we said. So maybe we're on track, maybe we're not.
Right.
We'll find out.
All right, everybody. So until our next video, namaste, bitches.
Photo library cancel. What do you do? I don't know how to search. Okay, here we go. We're searching.
She's clairvoyant, but she can't search Instagram.
I know.
It's fine.